Here is the Nemo Cosmo 3D, the long and wide version. It's 25 wide, 76 long, and it's supposed to be 3.5 inches off the ground, but it's more like 4. It has a weird wedge shape almost where the feet is lower than the head, which is very barely noticeable. It also dips on the inside to kind of keep you in the center so you don't roll off. It's also the insulated one, the Primaloft insulation. I haven't taken this out yet, so I can't speak on that. But I'm pretty excited on this. I've used Nemo Cosmos in the past. I found them loud, but this one doesn't seem to be loud. So this one also comes with the awesome Nemo foot pump that you just press to inflate. This one being as big as it is, you have to push this like 100 times until it's inflated, probably more than 100 actually. I don't know, maybe I'll count sometime. But yeah, super comfy. Obviously being like almost 4 inches towards the head, you really don't have to worry about hitting the ground. Still has the dump valve up top and the adjustable one. So that's the adjustment, and as you can see there's the other valve here, which is your dump valve. And if you don't use 2 hands and hold this one down, the dump valve will come out. And if you're laying on it trying to go to bed at night, you're going to pull it and it will lose all its air and it's going to suck. I did that once laying on it. That's what I'm talking about. And you can see the insulation inside there. So yeah. This is quite a bit pricier than some of the other ones I've used, but for good reason. I figured it was worth the investment, especially with the foot pump. You don't have to bring along any extra air compressor or battery operated inflator, or use your mouth and get a bunch of humidity inside of it. So hopefully that lasts a lot longer than some of the other ones. I'm going to re-inflate this and then I'll bring out my Vaude Hike and compare it. Okay, so here's our Vaude Hike 9L, which I mentioned in a previous video. This has some deflation going on in it, which I've just fully inflated it, so you'll probably notice it'll go down slowly as I film until it gets to neutral pressure, I guess. Anyways, so you can see they're pretty much the same length. I hope you can see that. Same width. I think the Vaude, when I measured it, was 24. The Cosmo is supposed to be 25. But you can see on this side it's hanging over here too, so that makes sense. The biggest difference you'll see between the two is the height. So the Vaude is 9 centimeters tall. The Nemo Cosmo is advertised as 3.5 inches tall. And here you can kind of see that wedge shape I'm talking about. So that's cool. The Vaude had a similar valve system to the Nemo with the adjustment, only you didn't really have to risk pulling out the dump valve. So you would just push in. So to dump the air in the Vaude, you would have to tuck this in, and it would kind of hold that adjustment open, which I kind of didn't like. It was tough to roll it up when this was tucked in. It would keep falling out when you're rolling it up. It's a big pain. And then you try and roll out of it and you still have some air left in this part. Made for a bad time. So the Nemo should be a little bit nicer, especially with that Primaloft insulation. I'm hoping it'll be a little bit warmer than the Vaude was. Other than that, I really like the Vaude for what it was. it was long, wide, and I think it was like $170 maybe, and the Nemo is like $250 plus tax. But I got it on sale for 15% off, so that helped a little bit. Made it a little bit more justifiable anyways. So yeah, that's it. I'll mention also the bottom of this is just like a gray, not like you really care, but it's not anti-slip or anything like that. It's the same material, just without the cool Nemo pattern and without the color, I guess. This one had, I don't know, it was kind of different. Had a little textured top, kind of ish. Now this is deflated. Anyways, you get the idea. I'll roll up the Cosmo and I'll compare it to the Vaude. One thing I'm going to say about the Nemo as I'm rolling it up here is you could see and feel this plastic valve that comes out of the foot pump to push the air inside. Doesn't feel sharp or anything, but hopefully in the long term rolling that up doesn't create a bunch of wear and start to deteriorate fabric from the inside. Doesn't seem like it's doing anything, but who knows long term. So here's the Nemo rolled up. Comes with this little strap to hold it shut, which is nice while you stuff it in the bag, because there's nothing worse than trying to hold on to this and stuff it in the bag at the same time, at least for me. And this bag literally is not a problem. It slips on easy, no troubles getting it in like some of them. Just pull that and get this down, which I can't do with one hand. So now I'm going to roll up the Vaude and I'll show you that. Alright, here are our comparison tools. We have the 4-person Elixir MSR tent, the Nemo Cosmo 3D, long, wide, and insulated, the Vaude Hike 9L, a can of Innocent Gun Lager, 500 milliliter can, and the Thermarest Travel Pillow medium. So you can see between these two sleeping pads there is not a whole lot of size difference. This bag is loose on this one, so I mean it's kind of hard to show its actual size. This one's super tight. It was a little bit harder to get this one in. But yeah, they're ultimately pretty much the same size. Maybe not diameter though. Pretty close. So I'm not losing anything by going to the Nemo. They're about the same weight. This one here says it's about 1,000 grams. On the box for the Nemo, we have an 1,155 gram, and you could do the conversion to ounce if you want. I don't really care about the imperial system. Other information about it, you can pause that if you want to. I'm not super interested. Yeah, so that is the overview of the Nemo Cosmo versus the old Vaude Hike 9L. So I also wanted to say this comes with a repair kit. I couldn't find it. Of course, if I looked a little farther, I would have seen it was in this little pouch up top here. I just took it out. There it is. So yeah. And also, this one is rated up to -23 Celsius. Nemo doesn't use an R value, so I couldn't really give you that, but this one says -4 to -9 Celsius. So do with that information what you will. This one says R value 2.5. So there we are.